Welcome to GOA365 English News Bulletin. I am Brian Sequeira and these are the headlines. RBI keeps its repo and reverse repo rates unchanged at 4% and 3.35%. Policy decision also decides to continue its accommodative stance to revive and sustain growth on a durable basis. The Prime Minister in Goa, AAP's Kejriwal in Goa. BJP's Smriti Irani and its President JP Nadda too will be in Goa in a day or so as electioneering is slowly gearing up towards the D-Day, 14th February. Mostly dry weather was observed over the state and is expected to continue for the next 5 days starting from February 10. And now for the news in detail. Election campaign in the state has now entered the last lap. The BJP election machinery is in full flow and has been given a boost by the arrival of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Besides AAP and the Congress, Revolutionary Goans Party has already set their ideological views in the public forum using the famous slogan Uzo. Now the ball is in people's court.
उत्तर गोंयांतला मोगाळ गोंयकारांक येवकार 14 फेब्रुवारीक भाजपाक मत दिवन गोंयच्यो फुडार परजेवूत करपाचो हावेस तुमी बागेला. आत्मनिर्भर भारता वांगडा स्वयंपूर्ण गोंय करपाच्या तुमी थारायला. तुमचे सपन पुराय करपाचे उतर हांव तुमकां दिता.
Trinamool Congress MP and Goa in charge Mohama Moitra took part in canvassing of TMC candidate Siola Was from Fathalda constituency of Vijay Sardesai. She appealed to people to vote on the basis of principle and not to discriminate within locals and outsiders. Listen to what she has to say.
तो ये हम आपको अभी तय करना है कि बीजेपी के साथ रहना है कि बीजेपी के साथ रहना नहीं है. अगर आप बीजेपी को साथ रहना है तो यहाँ पे बीजेपी का जो कैंडिडेट है उसको सरासर वोट दीजिए, उसको जिताइए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बीजेपी को वोट देना है तो बीजेपी को देंगे. बीजेपी का बी टीम को क्यों देंगे? जो बेवफा आदमी एक बार झूठ बोल के धोखा करके बीजेपी के पास गया वो फिर आया हुआ है. वो कहता है कि कांग्रेस में है, पर कांग्रेस में जो है ये निकाहनामा किसमें साइन किया है?
Till date, we have got the leaders who have always taken pen name locals from granted. First time in history, we have one who is familiar and educated candidate, one who knows people's problem, the one who can win hearts of public and have solutions for public queries. We have got the perfect man like Jitendra Gaonkar who can handle water and electricity issues easily. And all Pednekars are with him, said Pername Block Congress.
ज्या वेळाचेर सुद्धा आम्ही पेडणे भायर मी आता वकील आसल्या कारणान कामानिमित्त सगळ्या भागांनी भोंवय त्या वेळाचेर सुद्धा आमकां प्रश्न येयल्लो की बाबा तुमच्या पेडण्यासून कोण शिकलोच ना काय, तुमच्या पेडण्याचो खुद्द कोण नाच काय. सो आयज काँग्रेस पक्षान पेडण्याचोच उमेदवार दिल्लो आसा आनी तो सुद्धा एक एडवोकेट जो सगळ्या हेतून आंदोलनान आसा.
BJP this time has given ticket to Manohar Baba Azgaonkar from Margaon instead of Pername. He spoke to locals of Motidongar, Margaon in Hindi and Kokni while campaigning. Houses from Motidongar are kept without registering from last 27 years till now. Babu said, holding Digambar Kamath responsible for this. He also promised locals to solve issues of Kabristan and houses of locals. Listen.
लोक दोळ्यान तेल घालून पळयता हाऊस टॅक्स केन्ना पडटले, लोक दोळ्यान तेल घालून पळयता कब्रस्तान केन्ना जातले. बाबू आजगांवकरांनी हे विषय घेतल्या आणि 100% हांव करून दाखयतलो. कितें सांगता तूं लोकांक एकच दाखयला, लोकांक एकच सांगता हांव की मडगांवचे आणि विल्ले वाट लायल्या. मडगांव हे बिझनेसमॅनाचे शहर, ह्या मडगांवची सगळीकडे बिल्ले वाट लायल्या. ह्या लोकांक 27 वर्सां फसयता. आज देंगा कल देंगा हाऊस टॅक्स. खंय हाऊस टॅक्स? ही घरां लिगली कित्याक जावना? ही घरां लिगली कित्याक जावना? 27 वर्सां म्हणटा तांकां हाऊस टॅक्स आनी मतां घेता. इलेक्शना टायमार येता, पाकिटान दिता, 2 कडेन बिर्याणी खाता आनी हांकां ठोको म्हणटा.
BJP leader from Maharashtra, Pravin Derekar, who came to campaign for BJP candidate Danand Sopte in Pernem, was grilled by media. When questioned why BJP is buying candidates, Derekar asked media to prove it with evidence. He also gave lecture on family Raj. However, media caught him in the tight spot on question couples getting tickets. Listen to his reply.
तुम्ही भारतीय जनता पार्टी आणि मोदी साहेब जर टार्गेट करूनच तुमचे प्रश्न असतील, तुम्ही काय विचारा ना.
भाजपा लोकशाही तत्व मानते की नाही?
100%
मानते. मग जर दुसऱ्या जे पक्षाचे निवडून आलेले आमदार आणि पक्षाने गेल्या निवडणुकीत भाजपला पूर्ण बहुमत न देता दुसऱ्याचे आमदार विकत घेऊन सत्ता स्थापन केली, त्या संदर्भात काय आपलं?
तुम्ही विकत घेतलं असेल तर सिद्ध करा. असं कुणावरही कुठले बेजबाबदार आरोप करू नका. विकत घेतला.
Sandeep Prekar from Margaon and Sandeep Kamulkar from Pernem for GOA365.
AAP convener Arvind Kejriwal is in Goa once again. In his speech in May, he asked for the electorate to give AAP a chance this time, as they had already given the other parties many chances. He also said that he would make Goa a financially positive state.
A mere 4 days are left for D-Day. Many top leaders are in Goa electioneering. Kejriwal landed in Goa on Thursday morning. Later, he went to May to address his supporters and voters from the nearby constituencies.
2012 में माइनिंग बंद हुई थी. आज 10 साल हो गए. 10 साल से बीजेपी की गवर्नमेंट है. 10 साल में इनसे माइनिंग चालू नहीं हुई. अब अगर इनको दोबारा वोट दे दोगे तो 5 साल और माइनिंग चाहिए. जिनसे 10 साल नहीं काम हुआ तो 5 साल में क्या काम होगा? 10 साल दिया इन लोगों को. 10 साल में ये माइनिंग शुरू नहीं कर पाए. सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर है कि माइनिंग चालू होनी चाहिए. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर किया है माइनिंग चालू. ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर भी नहीं मानते. लोगों में चर्चा है कि सेटिंग नहीं हो पा रही है. किस कंपनी को दें, इसको दें कि उसको दें. इससे सेटिंग नहीं हो रही, उससे सेटिंग नहीं हो रही. आम आदमी पार्टी किसी से सेटिंग नहीं करती. हमारी सेटिंग गोवा के लोगों से है. 6 महीने के अंदर, सरकार बनने के 6 महीने के अंदर माइनिंग चालू कर देंगे. 5,000 रुपए पर मंथ उनके खर्चे के लिए देंगे जब तक माइनिंग शुरू नहीं होती है. दिल्ली में 2 करोड़ लोग रहते हैं. गोवा में 15 लाख लोग रहते हैं. हमने दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोगों के लिए ये योजना निकाली है कि हर आदमी का पूरा इलाज, अगर घर में कोई भी बीमार होगा, किसी भी तरह की बीमारी होगी, सारा इलाज सरकार करवाती है. अब बड़े हॉस्पिटल के अंदर जाइए, 70 लाख का 80 लाख का भी खर्चा अगर आएगा, सारा खर्चा दिल्ली सरकार देती है. आपको चिंता करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं. गोवा के अंदर भी करेंगे. बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिनको 60-60 साल से इन पार्टियों ने उनको जमीनों का हक नहीं दिया, मालिकाना हक नहीं दिया. जबकि मैंने इसका पूरा मामला स्टडी किया और मुझे लगता है कि 6 महीने के अंदर उन सबको लैंड राइट्स दिए जा सकते हैं. तो आपके मन में ये चल रहा होगा, केजरीवाल आया है, बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहा है, बड़ी बड़ी फेंक रहा है. चल रहा है ना मन में? चुनाव का टाइम है, कुछ भी बोल दो. क्या गारंटी है कि हम करेंगे? ये गारंटी तो पक्की है कि ये नहीं करेंगे. 60 साल में इन्होंने नहीं किया. ये गारंटी पक्की है कि कांग्रेस नहीं करेगी. ये गारंटी पक्की है कि बीजेपी भी नहीं करेगी. इन्होंने 60 साल में नहीं किया. ये गारंटी पक्की है कि एमजीपी भी नहीं करेगी. तो एक बार नई पार्टी को ट्राई करके देख लेते. तो एक मौका आप गोवा के अंदर दीजिए. ये पक्की बात है, ये पार्टियां कुछ नहीं करने वाली है. जो 24,000 करोड़ का कर्जा आज गोवा के ऊपर चढ़ा है, ये 24,000 करोड़ अगले 5 साल में 50,000 करोड़ हो जाएगा. फिर अगले 5 साल में 1 लाख करोड़ हो जाएगा. आप एक मौका आम आदमी पार्टी को दीजिए. ईमानदार सरकार बनाएंगे, ये सारे प्रोमिसेस पूरे करेंगे. अगर हम ये सारे प्रोमिसेस पूरे ना करें, अगली बार मैं वोट मांगने नहीं आऊंगा आप लोगों के पास.
Mahesh Goyekar for GOA365 from Maya.
We will take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. In a surprise move, the RBI's MPC announced in its monetary policy review that it would keep its repo and reverse repo rates unchanged at 4% and 3.35%. The MPC has also decided to continue with its accommodative stance to revive and sustain growth on a durable basis and to dampen the impact of COVID-19 on the economy.
The RBI surprised money market participants by keeping the repo rate at which the RBI lends money to commercial banks, unchanged at 4% for the 10th time in a row. These decisions are in line with the aim of achieving a medium-term target for CPI inflation while supporting growth of the economy. Many experts in the market were expecting a hike in the reverse repo rate. As such, the decision to maintain status quo has come as a surprise. Given other global factors, the decision to prioritize growth over inflation reveals RBI's confidence that the country can remain isolated from global monetary trends.
The marginal standing facility, that is MSF rate and bank rate, remain unchanged at 4.25%. The demand for contact-intensive services is still muted. Going forward, positive impulses for quickening the pace of recovery emanate from buoyant Rabi prospects, robust export demand, accommodative monetary and liquidity conditions, improving credit offtake, and the continued push on capital expenditure and infrastructure in the Union Budget 22-23.
Repo and reverse repo rates remain unchanged at 4% and 3.35% respectively. RBI maintains accommodative stance. Continued policy support warranted for durable and broad-based recovery. GDP for FY23 projected at 7.8%. RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das also projected the country's GDP for FY23 to be 7.8%. Das also added that every effort was made to ensure that there was limited disruption to economic activity, saying that while inflation, especially CPI, did rise, it was along expected lines. Core inflation remains elevated while rising headline inflation is expected to peak in Q4 of FY22 before moderating in the second half of FY23. CPI inflation is expected to moderate in the second half of FY23, allowing monetary policy to remain accommodative. Effort made to limit disruption to economic activity. Although CPI rose, it was along expected lines. Core inflation remains elevated. Headline inflation to peak by Q4 of FY22 before moderating by the second half of FY23. CPI inflation forecasted as 5.3% for FY22. FY23 CPI inflation forecasted at 4.5%. E-rupee digital voucher cap increased from Rs 10,000 to Rs 1 lakh and to be used more than once. Bureau Report, GOA365.
We will take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. India reported a total of 67,084 new coronavirus cases today, while positivity rate dropped to 4.4%. However, deaths surged to 1,241. Goa meanwhile reported 296 cases and 4 deaths, while positivity rate is 10.57%.
The country has been reporting a decline in cases with daily figures below the 1 lakh mark for a few days now. The positivity rate too across the nation dropped to 4.4% as the country is in a decline trend of the third wave. Tragically, however, 1,241 people succumbed to the virus even as cases are declining. Alarmingly, deaths in the country have been over 1,000 for days now. 67,084 fresh COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. 1,241 deaths in a span of 24 hours. Daily national positivity rate at 4.4%. Meanwhile, the government has scrapped the 7-day mandatory quarantine for international travellers as cases in the country seem to be fairly under control in hopes to kickstart the tourism sector hit by the pandemic once again. Goa in the meanwhile has been reporting around 200 to 300 cases daily, and the state too is in line with the national trend. Just as in the case of the national statistics, Goa too has been reporting a high number of deaths with at least 6 deaths reported on the daily. Positivity rate, however, has been dropping, giving a sigh of relief to the tourism sector. Bureau Report, GOA365.
Now for the weather. Mostly dry weather was observed over the state yesterday and is expected to continue for the next 5 days starting February 10. Today's maximum and minimum temperatures are expected to hover around 32 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius respectively.
Minimum temperatures are expected to gradually rise by 2 degrees Celsius over the next 4 to 5 days. No change is expected, however, in maximum values. Haze and light fog was observed at isolated areas earlier today and is expected tomorrow as well. Skies are expected to remain partly cloudy over the evening hours today. No weather and fishermen warnings issued so far. Dry weather for the next 5 days. Maximum and minimum temperatures today 32 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius respectively. Minimum temperatures to rise by 2 degrees Celsius over the next 4 to 5 days. Haze and light fog expected tomorrow. No weather and fishermen warnings issued today. Bureau Report GOA365 with inputs from IMD.
With that, we have come to the end of this news bulletin. For more news and updates, log into our website www.goa365.tv. Follow us on Facebook, GOA365 TV, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, GOA365 TV, or download our app, which is available on both Android and iOS to watch all the latest news and updates on your mobile. Take care, stay safe, and keep watching GOA365.